For as long as we've had modern medicine, creating new drugs has been a story of trial, error, and, well, a whole lot of time. But that story is fundamentally changing. Today, we're diving into how artificial intelligence is rewriting everything we thought we knew, turning lines of computer code into life-saving cures. To really get why this is such a big deal, you have to start with this one number, 90%. That is the failure rate for new drugs in clinical trials. I mean, just think about that. After more than a decade of work, billions of dollars spent, 9 times out of 10, it all leads to a dead end. This isn't just an economic problem, it's a deeply human one. Okay, so that's the old way, 10 plus years. Now, what if you could shrink that entire process down to just 18 months? No, that's not a typo. Companies like Recursion are now actually doing this, going from a brand new idea to a drug in the clinic in about a year and a half. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a completely different ballgame. So how on earth is this actually happening? Well, here's our roadmap. We'll start with a problem we're all facing, then we'll look at how AI is redesigning the very engine of discovery. We'll explore the revolution in personalized medicine, how we can forecast the future of health, and we'll end with the biggest question of all: who controls the code? So let's start with that central challenge. With a 90% failure rate and that decade-long timeline, it's pretty clear the old model is broken. AI isn't some luxury add-on here. It's becoming an absolutely necessary tool to get over these hurdles and deliver treatments to the patients who are waiting. You know, it really boils down to getting 3 things right, and Colin Hill of GNS Therapeutics puts it perfectly. First, you have to find the right biological target in the body. Second, you have to design the right drug to hit that specific target. And third, and this is the tricky one, you have to know which patients are actually going to respond. For decades, getting all 3 right was like a shot in the dark. AI is finally starting to turn on the lights. So how does AI even begin to solve this puzzle? It starts at the very beginning, in the lab. We are now seeing AI completely re-engineer the engine of drug discovery, transforming the fundamental science itself. Instead of the slow, linear process we're used to, AI now jumps in at every single step. First, it pores over these massive biological maps to find brand new targets for diseases. Then you've got generative AI acting like a master chemist, designing entirely new molecules from scratch. And finally, and this is amazing, it can predict if that drug is likely to be safe and effective in a simulation, long before it ever gets near a human being. What's fueling a lot of this is a concept called agentic AI. Now, it sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Imagine assembling a digital dream team. You give one AI agent the role of chemist, another is your safety inspector, and a third is the biologist. You don't tell them how to do their jobs, you just give them a mission, like design a safe molecule for this target, and they work together on their own to get it done. One of the coolest ways this works is something called the reflection pattern. Think of it like a creative partnership. A creator agent designs a new drug molecule. Instantly, a reviewer agent jumps in and stress tests it, checking for safety, for accuracy, for any potential problems. It's this rapid-fire feedback loop that drives the quality way up, which, of course, is absolutely critical when human lives are at stake. And this efficiency doesn't just stop in the lab, it goes all the way to human trials. Companies like Bristol-Myers Squibb are now using AI to find the perfect patients for a trial by scanning their genetic data. They're using it to automate the mountains of regulatory paperwork and even to predict how a patient might respond to a drug. It's all about making these trials faster, cheaper, and way more likely to succeed. But look, a breakthrough in the lab is only half the battle. The real test is in the clinic with real patients. And this is where AI is starting to have its most personal impact, by revolutionizing care right at the bedside. Just take a look at this chart. It shows the real-world impact. An AI can now spot a life-threatening heart condition just by looking at a simple EKG. And in doing so, it shrinks the average diagnosis time from 5 years down to just 5 weeks. For patients, that's not just a statistic. That can literally be the difference between life and death. This really highlights a super important point from Greg Myers at BMS. The goal isn't to replace doctors, it's to augment them. The whole conversation around AI replacing doctors it's a little lazy. Think of AI as a co-pilot. It gives your family doctor the analytical power of a top specialist, helping them spot things the human eye might miss. It's about making great doctors even better. This level of personalization leads to one of the most mind-blowing ideas out there, the digital twin. Imagine a perfect virtual replica of your body, your unique genetics, your health data, everything. With this digital avatar, doctors could test thousands of treatments to find the absolute perfect one for you, all before you ever have to take a single pill. Now, this power to personalize and predict, it doesn't stop at the clinic door. It's about to transform health on a global scale, shifting the entire paradigm from treating sickness to preventing it from ever happening in the first place. We are stepping into an era of predictive health, where the data from your watch could forecast a disease years before you ever feel a symptom. AI is going to model the spread of the next pandemic, helping us respond in hours, not months. And we're even seeing the dawn of neuro-AI interfaces, connecting brains directly to computers to treat conditions like paralysis. It's incredible stuff. But all of this unbelievable power brings with it some profound, really heavy questions. So for this last part, we have to confront the immense responsibilities that come with this new reality. The biggest one being, who controls this code? I mean, we really have to ask, who owns the data that makes up your biology? How do we build these algorithms so they're free from bias? How can we possibly guarantee patient privacy and trust? And as we gain this power to design molecules from scratch, what does it even mean to design life? These are the conversations we have to have right now. You know, the biggest barrier to this future might not be the technology itself. It might be human. As folks at Salesforce have pointed out, there is a major trust gap. Most health workers don't fully trust AI yet, and honestly, most patients are pretty wary too. Building that trust is going to be just as critical as building the algorithms. And that brings us to the real goal here. It's not artificial intelligence, it's augmented intelligence. It's a true partnership where you take human ingenuity, empathy, and wisdom, and you amplify it with the scale and speed of a machine. The doctor is still the pilot. AI is just the most powerful co-pilot ever invented. So, we end with the question that kicks off this whole next chapter. As we learn to read, write, and even rewrite the very code of biology, who controls it? The future of medicine is being written as we speak, and it is a story that every single one of us has a stake in.